Hi, I'm Dana. I'm a daughter and a granddaughter, a sister, a cousin, a wife, a mother, a friend, a former woman in tech, a business owner, an immigrant, a spiritual Christian, a member of the Black community, and a specialist in equity, diversity, and inclusion. I truly believe that some of what's needed to move efforts in inclusion forward is empathy and the ability to walk in someone else's shoes. This video series aims to help you do just that. As a reminder, each person featured is so much more than what they share here. But hopefully, listening to this small bit of their story and walking in their shoes for the next few minutes will help bring the understanding that the way we individually experience the world is not the only way the world is experienced. I know I said I wasn't going to show my face on these, but surprise! Here I am. I made the decision to come and share a little bit of my story because it's a tough topic, this video, and I could not ask any of my friends or any of the people in my circle to relive the hurt and the trauma involved with this when it was something that I knew that I could contribute to and share myself. So in all of the other videos, I didn't have those experiences that I could share, but for this particular one, I do. And the topic that's under discussion is the childless debate. I am Dana, and I am a mom of twins who struggled on her journey. I got married to my husband in 2009, and we knew we were going to have kids in our future, but we definitely did not want them right away. I was still studying at work. We were still building our careers. We did not have a home yet. And we knew that there were certain goals we wanted to accomplish and things that we wanted to put in place before it happened. And so we did those things. We worked hard and we saved and we traveled the world and we enjoyed being newlyweds and loving each other, knowing that the children would come in time. But what no one tells you is that not all of us get to decide that we're ready to start a family and have it happen right away. For some of us, it's a journey and it is difficult and it takes a long time in a way that you did not expect in the moment. And that was the case for us. So I think from the moment that we got serious about it until they were actually born and with us was over 3 years, maybe, yeah, even 4 years. And it was tough. It was a tough journey. So I think back to that time, and some of the things that were really difficult were the comments that people were making, especially when they were making them to my husband. So the complications around us being able to have children were related to me. They were my medical issues. And so when people would say to him, "Oh, are you firing blanks," for example, or "What's wrong with you," or things like that directed to him, I
felt it so much more than if they were saying things to me specifically. I wanted to yell at them and shake them and say, don't say stuff to him. Like, this is not his fault. This is about me. And I felt really guilty in those moments. I also remember one Christmas where my grandfather was completely unlike himself. So I don't want you to judge my grandpa. He is lovely and full of love. But there was one Christmas where he made a comment that the women in my generation in our family were disappointing. And he said that we were disappointing because there were quite a few of us who were unmarried, and the ones like me who were married had not yet produced any children. And to be told that I was disappointing despite all of the things that I had achieved in my life and how hard I had worked was really devastating. I'll be honest. I feel a little tearful even though I am smiling thinking back to that day today. For me, though, one of the biggest macroaggressions that centers around children is this comment that you will never know love and you have not known love until you've had a child, which is something that people say all of the time. And I've been on the receiving end of that. And to be told that every feeling that you have is invalid until you have a child, that, hey, at that point, you may not even have one, is really soul crushing. We have to stop doing that. And for anyone out there who is listening, who is in the same position that I was. I am now a mom, and I can tell you that while I do love my children and I love them a whole bunch, I, in fact, did know what love was before they were born. So that's not true. And we've got to stop doing that to other people.
You might be watching and listening and thinking, but I would never do that. I would never say that. And maybe you wouldn't. But sometimes it's not about the big thoughts, the big actions, the big deeds. Sometimes it's about the little things.
I think well meaning people, people who were not trying to be unkind, would say to us, oh, when are y'all going to have children? Is there a bun in the oven? Is something happening? And you'd constantly get the questions and the wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So, as part of our journey, while we were doing IVF, I stopped drinking alcohol for a while, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, you must be pregnant. And when you want something so desperately for yourself and it isn't happening, and then there's so much like supposition and excitement around it, it takes a toll. Let's put it that way. The constant questions and askings and jokings around it can be really difficult. And then I also remember coming off of social media completely during that time, because even though I was happy for those who were able to have babies, I mean, I think every announcement felt a bit like a personal attack, even though I know it wasn't personal. I think that is just how it felt in the moment. I think as well, when we were doing IVF, there are culturally some issues with that. I think we didn't speak about it openly because I'm going to say this out loud, and some of you listening might be thinking, what? But this is totally a thing. There are people who believe that babies are from God. And so if you don't have a baby, then obviously God does not want you to have one. And you might be thinking, oh, that must be limited to the older generation. But actually, one of my friends, who's only a little bit older than me, when I confided in her that we were doing IVF, said to me, do you really think that's the right thing to do? Shouldn't you pray harder or pray more to get the baby? So it became a question of faith and who do you want to tell? And in fact, we as a couple were not as open about it for many years, maybe, as we should have been. I think the turning point for me was uh, I was on a chat room, and it was for Black women to talk about difficulties with conception. And there were so many women on there who were afraid to do IVF and afraid of it because of conceptions and what people would think and the tie to religion. And I had to speak up in that moment and use my voice. And since then, I've been a lot more open about acknowledging that we did do IVF to have a baby and that we struggled and that it was devastating and that there were losses along the way, and to tell the truth, the whole truth, and to own my truth despite some of the consequences, intended or otherwise. So what do I want people to remember? The first thing that I really want them to remember is mind your own business. And I am laughing when I say this, but honestly, people's reproduction and whether they have children or don't have children, whether they want children or don't want children, is none of your business. There are people who are locked in a silent struggle, who are having trouble, who this is a really painful issue, and bringing it up in casual conversation and asking about it when it's not a topic of conversation, we have to stop doing that. It is none of your business. And all of the comments that I said in this video, things that people have said to me, let's not. Let's just stop. And there is a difference as well between child-free and childless. So I was childless. I wanted to have children and I was unable to have them. There are some people who are child-free, meaning that they choose the lifestyle and they don't want any children. Saying things like, don't worry, you'll change your mind when you get older, or you have to become a mother to know your purpose in life, or you've never known love until you have a child, is A, ridiculous, and B, completely hurtful to both sets of people. Don't judge people's choices and let everyone live their own lives. And finally, when it comes to the topic of IVF versus adoption versus whatever people choose to do, again, not your business. Support, and that's it. I just think people have the right to choose as a couple and also to do whatever they want with their bodies. And it's not your life or your body or your choices. So just stay out of it would be what I want people to remember.
If you enjoyed walking in my shoes, please click the like button on this video. Please also feel free to share it on social media. Just be sure to tag me. I'm at Diversity Dana on all major social media platforms. You can also subscribe to this channel to get notified of and see similar stories as soon as they are posted. To share your story for the Someone Else's Shoes series, please contact me at hello hello@diversitydana.com. That's hello@diversitydana.com.